Hey guys, what's up? Bryan here. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm about to head out and pick up those bars, but I wanted to bring you guys another video that I've been thinking about doing for the last couple of months. Now this video is actually going to be over 10 mods that you can do to the Warrior. Now I did a video previously over this, but in that one I tried to keep all the mods under $500. In this video, we're actually going to get into some that can be pretty expensive and possibly even cost more than your bike did. Now sometimes I wish I'd never even started modding bikes, period. I can't imagine the money that I've spent over the years on different bikes to get them just the way that I wanted to end up selling them or trading them off. We all know how it is with the Warrior though. We start with one thing and before we know it, it's a different bike. And we're hundreds if not thousands of dollars poor. It always makes up for it though when we jump on, crack that throttle, and try to hang on. Then you find your next mod and throw even more money at it. Now, everything that I talk about today will have links down below, so be sure to check those out. Let's go ahead and get into this video and start with numero uno, the one and only KyleNV wide tire kit. Now this mod is not for the faint of heart. It will end up costing you some money, and if you're like me, it's going to mean saving up for a while. But man, that's the way that the Warrior should have been from the factory. The Warrior is a beautiful bike, but when you put a fat tire on the back, its B-side comes out. Now this mod is pretty much done solely by Kyle Riley, also known as KyleNV. There are other companies, but not a lot compared to the quality and craftsmanship that you'll get from Kyle. He's done over 80 wide tire kits for the Warrior and has become a name that you look for when shopping for one. His kits have had zero failures, even after being on the road over 10 years with 60,000 plus miles on them. His number one selling kit is the 250 kit, and that runs $1,750 and comes with an 18x9 rear wheel. You can save yourself $100 by going with the 240 kit, which runs $1,650, but let's be honest, like every girl in the world says, size matters and we want bigger. Or maybe that's just the way that I've been. Anyways, now he has a 280 kit, which is going to run $1,850 and comes with an 18x10 rear wheel. These kits include powder coating, seal removal and reinstall, and you do have to send in your stock parts, and it's usually about a 6-week turnaround depending on how busy he is. But he's very accessible and you can call him and inquire about how things are if you start going through withdrawals in your 6 weeks and you get antsy. Now you can order just a widened swing arm or wheel if you need, and can also order things not finished and save a little cash as well. Kyle also sells other parts for the Warrior, and that's going to lead to our second mod, the hidden rear brake caliper bracket. Now this mod is going to run $135. But if you do a wide tire kit and order this at the same time, he's going to knock off that extra $35 and drop it down to an even 100. You can also order this mod in raw form for $110 if you'd like to save a little bit of cash. Now this is another mod that you'll need to send in your stock brake caliper bracket, and he will send you one that he has made up. This won't require any of the parts to be bought, it just bolts directly in place of the old one, but it actually situates that bracket behind the swing arm, so it's hidden from view and it opens up that wheel more. You will need to bleed the brakes with this mod since you'll be pulling the bracket off of the brake lines. Now this is a mod that I actually plan on doing in the near future, and we'll be making a video over the installation and bleeding process when I do. Now everything in these first two mods can be found at KyleNV.com, and I'll leave a link down below in the video description. Now if you do end up with a wide tire kit and hidden caliper bracket, you may find yourself needing a custom rear fender or decide maybe you'd like a chin spoiler, which leads us into our third group of mods that I want to talk about today, and that's fenders, spoilers, and fairings. Another way to kind of change the look of the bike is to add fairings or do different fenders. They have companies like Low and Mean that make the Reaper front fender that looks awesome. It curves around the back side of the front tire and gives that front end a different look. However, when it comes to custom fenders, chin spoilers, and even headlight cowls, a lot of Warrior owners swear by Christopher Kierstead, also known as Christok. He makes custom front and rear fenders, chin spoilers, headlight cowls, false tanks, and even wraparound front turn signals for your forks. Now he does 3-dimensional molding, which comes out looking awesome. His parts range in anywhere from $75 to $85 for the wraparound flashers to around $350 for custom rear fenders. Everything of course depends on what design you go with and what all you want done, but his work is second to none when it comes to Warrior parts. If you're looking to get a custom piece made, Christok is definitely the man to see for it. I've been looking at getting a headlight cowl myself, but I haven't quite pulled the trigger on it. And speaking of headlights, that's going to bring us into our next mod. Coming in at number 4 is upgrading the headlight. Now with headlights, you actually have a few options. You can keep the stock bucket and just upgrade the bulb, or now they're even making direct fit daymaker type bulbs for the Warrior. Another option that completely changes the looks of the front is to actually replace the bucket with something different. Now doing a full bucket replacement isn't going to be something that you'll want to tackle if you have no prior fabrication or wiring experience. But many people have done it and they come out looking really good sometimes. Now Cyclops Adventure Sports makes really good bulbs if you're looking to just keep the stock headlight bucket and upgrade the bulb. They have the 10.0 which runs around $80, and you can see in this picture from their website the difference between an incandescent headlight bulb and the Cyclops 10.0. They also have a daymaker type headlight called the Phoenix, and this is going to run around $400 and is a plug and play bulb. Of course you can find cheaper lights as well, you just need to have an H4 type bulb. And while we're on the subject of lights, let's go ahead and get into our 5th mod. Taillights. All of us know how big and bulky the stock taillight, plate, and signal bracket on the back of the bike is. For a lot of us, that's one of the first things that we get rid of. Doing that makes the rear fender stand out more in my opinion and lets you see the curves of the bike, rather than just a hunk of plastic hanging off your back end. Now a lot of us choose to upgrade the stock taillight at that time as well. What you decide to go with may depend a lot on what you have done to your bike or what you plan to do in the future. Now if you plan on keeping the stock fender, you may choose to go with a Blaster X integrated taillight. Now this light has signals built in and has a few different options such as brake alert with 11 different patterns to choose from, turn alert, and strobe mode. There are cheaper versions that you can find as well, but they don't light up as bright as the Blaster X does, and that's a big reason that a lot of people have chosen this light. Now if you have done or plan on doing a custom rear fender, you may want something like a Radiantz LED or Z-Flex LED strip that can actually conform to the fender and still features built-in turn signals. Like I said, I'll leave links to everything I talk about in these videos today in the description, just in case you want to check anything out. Now from here, we're actually going to talk about our next mod, which comes in at number 6, and that's the 33 tooth pulley mod. Now if you watched my last 10 Warrior mods video, we actually talked about the 31 tooth pulley swap. The bike comes stock with a 32 tooth pulley, and dropping down to a 31 will give you slightly lower low-end torque and make you run a little higher RPM than stock would at the same speed. Now swapping to a 33 tooth front pulley will actually drop those RPMs and help you stop searching for that 6th gear that you never seem to find. Now you're going to run around 300 RPM less at 80 miles per hour, and it's also going to slightly improve gas mileage. This mod requires you to actually take the stock pulley from a Roadstar 1700 and mill down one side to get it to fit. You'll need to actually get the pulley from a Roadstar for the years between 99 and 03, because after that they changed to a 32 tooth pulley as well. Now these parts run around $140 new on Partzilla, but if you're lucky you can find one on eBay at a good price. Now if you're very lucky, you may actually be able to purchase one that has already been milled down and is ready to install from Hefty Smurf on the forum. Now this actually works with our stock belt, so no need to worry about replacing that. Now you'll also need to take off the little white rollers around the pulley when you do this mod to prevent rubbing. Now the next 2 mods go along with the AIS block off plates to do what is called the left side cleanup. Coming in at number 7 on the list is fuel pressure regulator relocate mod. Now this mod is one of the cheapest on the list. You can probably get all the parts to do it for under $25 and have it done in an afternoon. It's a lot easier to do with a big air kit installed because you're going to be tucking that fuel pressure regulator under the tank. Now I actually have a video over doing this, and I'll leave a link in the top right corner for you to check it out if you want to do it yourself. If you've already installed AIS block off plates, doing this will allow you to get rid of the left side air scoop and open up that side of the motor a little bit more. It will also allow you to lose a few brackets underneath the scoop and expose that stock left side dry brake, which is where mod number 8 comes in, replacing that dry brake with a quick release fuel fitting. A lot of the time when you hear the term left side cleanup in the Warrior community, this is the mod that they're talking about. The full left side cleanup is of course the AIS removal with block off plates, relocating that fuel pressure regulator, and replacing the dry brake. But a lot of times, the quick release is what gets all the glory, and you can't blame it, it makes the bike look good. When replacing the dry brake, you have tons of options. Personally, I went with the Vibrant Performance quick release with black and red fittings, and also replaced the fuel lines with new black and red Vibrant Performance lines. Now I've seen people keep the stock fuel lines and just use a quick release fitting. Like I said, I went with Vibrant Performance, but it is a little bit pricier. They also have Jiffy type fittings that work just as well and cost a fraction of what you're going to pay with the Vibrant Performance ones. Some guys even replace the fuel line and run it straight from the tank to the reserve tank and just pinch the line with vice grips or set the tank to the side when removing it. Now whatever option you choose to go with, in my opinion, it just adds a little character to the bike and shows off that V-twin motor a little bit more. Now this is actually a kit that I'll be giving away when I hit 1,000 subscribers. I'll be including the AIS block-off plates, a kit to relocate your fuel pressure regulator, and the Vibrant Performance quick release and lines. So be sure to scroll down and hit the subscribe button so that we can get to that giveaway faster. One thing I've had people ask in the past and I want to touch on really fast, and that's that this does not replace the elbow on the tank that has been known to separate and leak fuel. This replaces everything between that elbow and the reserve tank, depending on how much you decide to do. Now this is another one that I have a video on, and I'll leave a link in the top right corner for you. And that's going to lead us to the last two mods that I'm going to touch on in this video. Coming in at number 9 are bars. Bars are one of the first things I changed on the bike when I got it. The stock bars are pretty comfortable, but they're not going to get a second look most of the time. You're not going to be riding around and have someone ask, damn, where'd you get those bars? Whether you decide to go with ape hangers or a drag bar, changing them out from stock ones will definitely give the bike a different look. Personally, I like the looks of the double T bars, so that's what I went with. I wanted them to be closer to the tank, so I only went with a 6-inch rise. Now that does mean that my blocks actually hit my tank at full cock, but I installed felt pads on the bottom to prevent any kind of damage. I always suggest an 8-inch rise when guys ask, because it gives that extra room to clear. Ape hangers are another option that a lot of guys choose, but when you're doing that, you will need to be sure to get longer cables as well. They also make many styles of risers that will give you a little more custom look. Now, pulling and changing the bars is a pretty simple job. It can usually be done in an hour or two and will make a difference in looks and sitting position. If you decide to internally wire them, it may take some more time, beer, and a few more but not too much. Make sure that if you do wire them internally, that you splice them and add some length. The stock wires aren't long enough to run, and nothing worse than getting it all wired up to find out that you've got to pull it all out and do it again. Now I'm going to leave links down below to a couple different bars and risers for you guys to check out. Changing the bars, doing a KyleNV wide tire kit, and then adding this last mod that we're going to talk about today is going to make any warrior an attention whore. Coming in at number 10, the last mod that we're going to talk about today is exhausts. Now one of the first things I bought when I got my bike was an exhaust. The stock exhaust on the Warrior looks like a water heater and just doesn't go with the beauty of the rest of the bike. I went with the Cobra Swept 2-into-2 exhaust originally. I felt like it followed the curves of the bike and just really flowed with the design. I did get rid of them this season for a Speedster though. And when it comes to exhaust, there are a few companies making exhaust for us still. Look to companies like Cobra, Vance and Hines, Samson, or even Hard Krome. Now when it comes to exhausts, do your research. Some companies make inferior products that have been known to crack or even take months to ship out. Now it is hard to find exhaust in black for our bike, so a lot of times you'll have to have it ceramic coated if that's the route that you're looking to go. Now Hard Krome does actually make a set of road burners that come in black, and personally, I think they look awesome. When I get finished with the Speedster, I'm going to be going back into a 2-into-2. Now you lose power, but the sounds and the looks in my opinion are worth way more than the 2 horsepower gain. There aren't as many options out there for exhaust as there used to be, but they're still out there if you look around. More than likely, you can find something that you're gonna like. Of course, there's always the option of having a completely custom exhaust made like this. Guys, as always, thanks for tuning in today. I really appreciate you being here. Hopefully, this video gave you a few ideas for modding your Warrior. I know that there are a few that I've already done, but definitely a few in there that I can't wait to get done either. That KyleNV wide tire is one that's high on my list. It just makes the bike into a beast. Most Warriors will turn heads anyways, but that wide tire will make most other bikes not get a second look when you're around. Another one that I'm really wanting to do is that 33-tooth pulley mod. Nothing worse than cycling through the gears and looking like an idiot as you try to hit 6th gear and remember that you don't have one. Now be sure to watch for those videos in the future. Be sure to like and share this video, guys, and if you're not subscribed, scroll down and hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so that you get notified when my new videos hit. Giveaway in about 3 months, and someone is going to be getting a full left side cleanup kit valued at over $250, so be sure to watch for that. Other than that, guys, we'll see you next time.